to another Malay quiet time. Today we're going to be doing a nice easy dinner that you can make at home, and I thought I'd do something a bit different. So we're going to make a beef curry pie. You need really simple ingredients, just some onion, carrot, some beef, and your kryptonite, which is this pre-made curry mix that you can get at Woolworths and Coles. And we've diced the carrots and the onions, and we started doing some browning. So come over and have a look. All you need to do is brown the onions first. You want to make sure you get some color. As soon as you get some color, we'll add the beef. Okay? Kind of brown color. When it's that color, you want to add your beef. I've selected some lean beef mince today, and you want to use some impeccably clean hands and take the beef and put it in there. The sizzle is a good thing. Just add it in some chunks. Chuck it all in there. That's one pack. And then another. The best utensil you have in your kitchen are your hands. Go ahead and use them. Make sure they're clean. And that's it. And then we're going to break it up with the spatula. And mix it in. And you see how the sound has changed? So it's not a strong sizzle anymore. You might want to just let it sit for a second, brown and then stir, brown and then stir, and then come back and we'll add the carrot. Okay, so the beef has now changed colour. There's no pink bits and it's sizzling away, which is a good thing. The idea is to make sure that this is as easy as possible, so we're trying to do it all in the one pan. So the next step, you're just going to want to move all the beef to one side, and it should have released some of the juices at the bottom of the pan. And I'm going to chuck in my carrots. I've diced them quite finely, so that when they cook, they'll cook quite quickly. Just going to chuck them in, a nice tiny fine dice. And we're just going to cook them for a little bit, just a few minutes, and then we're going to add our curry. Okay, so this is a springform pan. You can use it for cheesecakes or pies or anything like that. I got this one for $6 at Kmart. So I would highly recommend this investment. So you just use the bottom, it pops out. You put some paper over it, some baking paper, push it in a tiny little bit, and then on the side, it should have a clipping mechanism, and it should clip into place. Okay, and that's where our pie is going to go. So once you've got your tray nice and lined, it should look a bit like this. We're going to put some puff pastry for our pie. And so you're going to slap him in there, nice and liberally. Make sure you take it all the way to the edges. Tuck it in like you're tucking a baby. And then let him fold on the outside. See how it's kind of dangling there? Those will be crispy bits later. Okay, so tuck him in there. You're going to need about 2.5 sheets. So we'll take another sheet. Rip them off. See? Put it on the other side. Also, again, make sure you tuck him in. Okay, right. And then if you notice, it's like these two little pieces that need some help. So you're going to take this half a sheet that I prepared earlier and slice him in half. And plop him on one side. See? And the other. Okay, so he should look at the end something like this. Okay, and then before you put him in the oven, so you get to say, oh wow, Rose, this is a lot of dough. Not to fear, we're going to cook this, blind bake it. So just take a knife and kind of pierce it through. Because this is puff pastry, it's going to want to puff up. So you just want to help it a lot by giving it some opportunity to breathe. Okay, so once you've got him all nice and ready, remember we're going for the rustic look here, so it doesn't matter how it looks. Pop him in the oven. Good luck. So the beef and the carrots have been marrying along nicely, you know, they're having a fun time there. So the next step we're going to do is add this pre-made curry block. Okay, comes in this little chocolate looking thing. It's not chocolate. Okay. Yep. So it looks like this, and it has little ridges so you can pop it out. And you break off the little cubes and chuck them in there. And they will melt. It's kind of like a butter. And you pop them in there. Also, if you'd like to add your own seasoning, so I've added a little bit of our Egyptian buharat, you know, and some garam masala as well. It's up to you, whatever you want to add, but the minimum is this. This is the essential. So once you pop them in there, if you look closely, if you put them at the bottom of the pan, they will start to melt, like a lot like Maggi if you've ever used it. So as they melt, they'll turn into a sauce. Once it's kind of dissolved and you're ready, add one, like half a cup of water. Okay. We're actually ready for that now. So come have a look. So see how it's kind of all melted and gone into this one sort of paste. Just going to add half a cup. I'm just going to add some water. That's a good sound, that. Just keep adding and then mixing it into the rest of the mix. It should coat all your ingredients. And you'll smell it straight away. It doesn't smell like any other curry. This is Japanese style curry, which is traditionally a bit sweeter than other normal curries. If you feel like it's too thick, you do want it on the thicker side because it's going in a pie. But if you think it's too thick, just add a bit more water. I think this is a good consistency. Keep stirring. And when everything is combined, like this, you turn off the stove, let it cool for a little bit, and then we'll check on our pie crust. So our pie crust has come out of the oven and this is what it should look like. Nice and cooked. So everything that's going in the oven will be cooked except the top. That's all that we're going to be waiting for on cooking. So just scoop your filling into the crust, little by little. That's the last. Try and make it evenly distributed through the pie. We're going to use the other piece of pastry dough that we have. And you're going to take him off the blue paper. And you're going to put him, no surprises here, on top. And so if you can kind of lay it in and drop it in like that. Remember, rustic. Okay? So tuck him in like you're tucking a kid in bed. And then, so it should look like this. When you're ready, this is optional, but I would highly recommend it. Crack an egg into the bowl. Okay. And then just break up the yolk and mix it up. And this is just going to help the top of your pie turn golden. So give it a liberal brush. When you're finally done with that and you're happy with the distribution of egg, get a little knife, and for all intents and purposes you can make this as symbolic as you'd like, but do a little bit of the sign of the cross in the pie. So just a little cut down the middle, one way, and then the other, and the other. Does serve a practical purpose. You're going to let the steam get out of the pie so it doesn't puff up completely. I'll see you in a few minutes. And it's done. So I've just taken off a bit of the excess of the puff pastry, and you'll see the beauty of the springform pan. So just get the lever, give it a little flick, and it should come off. Just tease your puff pastry a little, kind of tuck it in, and voila, this is what it should look like. I'm going to let it cool and set a little bit before I cut into it and show you what a slice looks like. hope that was an easy recipe to follow, and send us all your creations. So if you do this or a version of this, just send it to Malek. Thanks. Bye. Beep, 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 beep. This is the part where you say it's delicious.
Delicious.